and make government work more efficiently and effectively for all Americans. House Democrats voted against all of that. So everything that I just said, they voted the opposite. Clearly proves they must want the largest tax increase in U.S. history on the American citizens. They must want open borders. They've proven that over and over. They must want Medicaid for illegal immigrants. We look forward to the Senate's timely consideration of this once-in-a-generation legislation. We stand ready to continue our work together to deliver on the one big, beautiful bill, as President Trump named it himself. We're going to send that to his desk. We're going to get it there by Independence Day on July 4th, and we are going to celebrate a new golden age in America.
Ladies and gentlemen, patriots and popcorn munchers alike, gather round, because we have to talk about the latest episode in the never-ending political soap opera starring Donald J. Trump, the passage of what he's unapologetically branding the One Big Beautiful Bill, a name so Trumpian it might as well come with gold lettering and a Twitter hashtag. Yes, that's actually what it's called. No, this isn't satire. And yes, it somehow passed the House by one vote, because of course it did. Like a true Trump production, it came down to the wire. It was loud, messy, divisive, and involved at least 3 people yelling fake news before breakfast. Before we dive headfirst into this hot, bubbling stew of tax cuts, work requirements, and more drama than a Real Housewives reunion, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell like you're trying to wake up Congress from their eternal nap.
On November 5th, the American people rejected the failed policies of the Biden-Harris administration and overwhelmingly endorsed President Trump's America First agenda. Using his executive authority, President Trump hit the ground running on day one to deliver on the promises he made to the American people.
Now, let's be clear. Trump is spinning this thing like it's the legislative equivalent of the moon landing. He called it, quote, the most significant piece of legislation that will ever be signed in the history of our country, which is a bold take, especially from the guy who once tried to buy Greenland and tweeted about nuclear hurricanes. But sure, Donnie, tell us more about how your bill, passed by a hair and a Hail Mary, is the greatest thing since sliced democracy. So what's in this glorious slab of legislative baloney? First up, tax cuts. Trump is basically bringing back the ghost of 2017 with a MAGA twist. He's juicing the economy with another round of tax relief. Because when in doubt, just cut taxes and pray the debt fairy doesn't show up with a calculator and a grudge. Tips and overtime, no taxes. Child tax credit, up. Salt deduction kept raised to $40.00 K, but only if you're pulling in under $500.00 K. Because nothing says for the people like helping out those poor souls scraping by on $500,000 a year. But wait, there's more. If you call now, you also get $150 billion, 0 cents, in defense spending. Because nothing screams big, beautiful legislation like throwing money at unmanned drones while simultaneously cutting social safety nets with all the grace of a toddler with scissors. And let's talk about those safety nets. The bill also shoves in work requirements for Medicaid and food stamps, because apparently nothing motivates a struggling single mom like a good old threat of losing health care. It's peak Trump logic. Hand the rich a tax break and toss the poor a job application stapled to a rejection letter. But don't worry, the CBO says it'll knock 8.6 million people off Medicaid and 3 million off SNAP. Just trimming the fat by starving it. Fiscal conservatives were torn on this one. On the one hand, they loved the tough talk on work requirements. On the other hand, the bill adds, wait for it, $3,800 billion, 0 cents to the national debt over the next decade. That's a trillion with a T, as in Trump, or maybe tsunami, which is what this bill is to any idea of fiscal responsibility. Moody's even downgraded our credit rating faster than Trump downgraded Jeff Sessions from BFF to persona non grata. How did this legislative Frankenstein's monster even make it through the House? Well, thanks to Speaker Mike Johnson, who basically acted as Trump's legislative butler for the past month. Johnson twisted arms, offered sweeteners, and adjusted the Medicaid rules to appease holdouts like he was negotiating a discount on a slightly used condo at Mar-a-Lago. 2 Republicans still voted against it, 1 voted present, and the rest held their noses and clicked yes, while probably whispering, please don't tweet at me. Trump, of course, celebrated like he just just won the Super Bowl, The Apprentice, and a defamation case all in one. He was out there declaring victory, like Caesar marching back into Rome, minus the toga but with extra spray tan. He held a press conference where he congratulated himself in the third person more than LeBron James on Media Day. Nobody gets bills passed like Trump, he said, probably. People said it couldn't be done. The fake news said it was dead, but we brought it back. We did it. We passed the best bill, the biggest, the most beautiful. To be fair, the man knows branding. While Democrats were out here naming bills with bland acronyms and noble causes like the Affordable Care Act or the Freedom to Vote Act, Trump slaps a rhinestone tiara on his bill and calls it the One Big Beautiful Bill. It sounds less like legislation and more like a Vegas show headlined by a golden retriever who does magic tricks. But hey, it got attention. And in Trump world, attention is currency. And let's not overlook the timing here. Trump is knee-deep in legal battles, campaign chaos, and more indictments than a crime boss with bad luck. So of course, he needed a win. And like any good showman, he found one, or made one up. This bill is part tax policy, part political stunt, and part campaign flyer stapled to the national budget. But despite the circus, the bill now heads to the Senate, where things might actually get serious. You know, like that moment in every Trump deal where the fine print shows up and the lawyers stop laughing? Senate Democrats are already lining up to blast the bill like it's a piñata full of plutonium. Even moderate Republicans are side-eyeing the debt implications, like Trump just spilled ketchup on the Lincoln bedroom couch. Still, Trump is basking. He's doing the victory lap, pounding his chest, and probably commissioning a coin to commemorate the occasion. He may even get a painting of him signing the bill while a bald eagle weeps in the background. The wildest part? This whole thing isn't just about policy. It's about Trump reasserting dominance over a party that sometimes pretends it's not still his. Johnson may have the title, but Trump has the remote control. He snapped his fingers, demanded a bill, and the House delivered it like it was room service at Trump Tower. What this bill really represents is Trump tightening his grip, flexing his MAGA muscles, and reminding everyone that he's still the center of the conservative universe. Policies, deficits, Medicaid recipients, those are just extras in the Trump show. What matters is the headline, the spotlight, and the never-ending campaign. So here we are, folks. One man, one vote margin. One big, beautiful, controversial, debt-ballooning, poor-punching, rich-awarding legislative buffet. Trump is thrilled, conservatives are conflicted, and the rest of us are just trying to make sense of how this man keeps finding new ways to turn politics into pay-per-view. But hey, it wouldn't be America 2025 without Trump grabbing the mic, yelling, "You're gonna love it," and passing something that makes economists cry and billionaires high-five. God bless America, and God help the Senate. Now drop a comment below. What do you think of the One Big Beautiful Bill? Is it genius, grift, or just good old-fashioned government gone wild? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with someone who thinks deficit is just a French word for winning.